The empress couldn't understand why the former crown prince had trapped her in the palace. He had already killed the emperor and seized the throne, yet he refused to let her leave. 3 years earlier, the woman was supposed to marry the general she loved. But on the wedding day, the general's entire family was falsely accused and executed by the emperor's order. The woman rushed over in her wedding dress, only to see the general pierced by an arrow. Before she could grieve, a eunuch brought an imperial decree appointing her as the new empress. The woman forced herself to stay calm and accepted it. However, a seed of hatred had been planted in her heart. On the way into the palace, the woman happened to see the crown prince whipping the former crown prince. The crown prince shouted that his brother was unworthy to compete for the throne, then lashed him again. Seeing this, the woman immediately stepped in to stop him. The crown prince recognized the new empress and mocked her for meddling. The next moment, she slapped him hard across the face. The crown prince roared, asking how she dared to strike him. But the woman didn't stop at one slap. She scolded him as the most privileged heir. He not only disrespected his stepmother, but also bullied his brother. This was the lesson he deserved. The crown prince wanted to fight back. However, the woman declared that her father was the most respected minister in the court. If he wasn't afraid of being impeached, he could go ahead. The crown prince had to leave in anger. The woman then brought the former crown prince back to her palace to treat his wounds. The former crown prince didn't understand why she was willing to save him. As the late emperor's son, his status was even worse than a servant's. But the woman only told him that if anyone bullied him again, he could come to her for shelter. What she didn't say was that the only reason she saved him was that he was the best tool to kill the emperor. The next day, the imperial consort learned that her son had been humiliated. Enraged, she ordered the maid to send porridge to the empress. If the plan succeeded, she promised to allow the maid to become the crown prince's concubine. When the woman drank the porridge without hesitation, the maid couldn't help smiling in triumph. Soon, the former crown prince was summoned to the empress's chamber. He noticed the woman was burning up with a high fever. As he was about to call a doctor, she pulled him into a kiss. At the same time, the imperial consort arrived with the emperor at the woman's palace. The maid hurriedly claimed the empress was ill. Hearing this, the emperor decided to visit another day. But just then, they all heard strange noises from the chamber. The imperial consort pretended to be shocked and asked why there was another man here. Furious, the emperor burst in.